Let me segue to 1989 at a conference on Mozart piano concertos. You caused a sensation when, after everyone had finished performing, you performed and you improvised. It was an electrifying experience for the attendees, for everyone. And the next day, the host of the conference mentioned that maybe we shouldn't do that, and everybody booed him.
Yes, I remember that very, very vividly. The person was saying, well, but there's a big risk, and if you slip, then there's a wrong note that comes out, and it's this and that. And then people got up and said, well, for heaven's sake, this is such a sense of adventure, such a sense of tension. It's just absolutely amazing. Of course, there's going to be some blood on the tracks.
Did they know that you were doing that, or did that come as a complete surprise?
No, they knew that I was going to do it.
Okay.
They knew because we were talking over the days of the conference, which was in Ann Arbor in Michigan, and there were, I think, 11 people playing 10 concertos because in one case, Seth and Maurice Carlin played the double concerto, and some were done with conductor, that was Sir Roger Norrington, and some were done without conductor or led from the keyboard. And we tried different positions of placing the piano versus placing the orchestra. And we had articles and presentations about issues that come up in terms of the performance of Mozart's concertos. And those have been published in an anthology edited by Neil Zaslow and published by the University of Michigan. So, yes, the people knew that I was going to do this. And, I took Swarovski very, very seriously and started while I was still an undergraduate at Harvard to improvise cadenzas. And I did it more and more frequently. After improvising cadenzas and embellishing repeats of main themes and so on and so forth, I started improvising free fantasies. And there, the issue of credibility, of people saying, oh, you think that we're stupid, we know what you did. You composed this piece, you memorized it, and you're foisting it on us and pretending to make it up where, of course, you're not. And I thought, how am I going to possibly persuade these people that I'm actually making these things up and taking the enormous risk that's involved in doing that? And I thought the way to do that is to have the audience actually supply the themes. So we got golf pencils and little pieces of paper with staff on them, and the audience was invited to write something down that was in the style of Mozart or was actually by Mozart, but please no Berlioz and please no Beatles and, so on and so forth. As wonderful as all of those things are, and if you want me to improvise a fantasy in the style of Mozart, then it has to have tunes that sound like Mozart, and then the happenstance of what keys those tunes were written in would determine whether I had to make far-flung modulations or whether I could stay close to home. And I would make it a habit, like Mozart, of coming back to the original idea at the end so that there was a unity of the whole thing. And the first time I did that was in Gidon Kramer's festival in Lockenhaus, where it caused, I have to say, something of a sensation. And then after that, I did it a great deal. And in fact, people would ask me to do it. The concert promoters would say, we'd like you to come out and play a Beethoven or Mozart concerto, but would you do one of your improvised fantasies? And I said, sure, it's fine. It's a parlor game, but it's fun.